long, but I already found some Depression era blue glass. Hope you can see that. But some other chunks around here. You've got some more of this really thick, hope you can see that, really thick cut glass. Old stuff. And it looks like a piece of china. Cool coloration. That's old. Pulled up in a spot looking for a level area, looking for just more of a level area to make camp, seeing if this is going to be a good place for it and whatnot. So people ask me all the time, what do I need to do to start getting out there and going off-roading and camping and stuff? And I'll tell you, it's easy to add a bunch of stuff onto our vehicles and have fun and, add things that make camping out here easier and, at times more enjoyable, depending on what you're doing. It's really easy to go out and spend a bunch of money on stuff that we see on Instagram and think, oh, this is what I need in order to get out here. But man, I'll tell you, when you start getting out here, you start realizing, oh, that's important. I should pick up one of those. Oh man, I guess rock sliders are more important than I thought they were. Or skid plates. I don't need skid plates. I'm not doing anything crazy. Then you go out there once and you realize, oh wow, it doesn't take an intense trail for skid plates to be a good idea. Or maybe bumpers are important to you. Maybe you're in an area with a lot of high traffic deer and whatnot, and so yeah, having a bumper would make more sense for you. So getting out, testing your gear just at your base level wherever you're at, and then realizing what's important and building up from there is going to be a lot more valuable than all the things you see on Instagram. Because you may find something, you may follow a page on Instagram and go, oh, I really like this build, I want to do something just like it. And then you build that exact truck, and then you go, wow, this does not fit my climate whatsoever. And so, get out there, just start with what you got, and you can start building off of that. Okay, I think I found a spot I like. I'm usually pretty picky, but I really wanted to get settled in for the night because I've got a bunch of videos I wanted to work on, and honestly I'm ready to relax. So I picked this spot. It does look like it's been used before. The rocks look pretty old, or the burn marks on the rocks look pretty old, so I imagine it was used here at one time, but I'm kind of going to gather some of the scattered rocks and make a fire pit here. I picked this spot for a couple reasons. There's no dead there's no dead branches, widowmakers in the trees. There's plenty of rocks to make a fire ring. There's some down trees and whatnot down over that way, so I can collect as much firewood as I need. And I love camping near buttes and higher places where I can climb up, do a little hike in the evening, and usually watch coyotes or just watch the sunset or whatnot. So I'm gonna wander around this camp, make sure everything looks safe, make sure there's no puddles, obviously not here in the desert, but where I'm at right now, but make sure there's no widowmakers or anything like that that could be a potential hazard with my stay here. Yeah, full-size truck life. When you pack something so good, you feel like you should take a picture so you can repack it the same way. I should probably do that, but okay, so it's kind of hard to show while doing it, but I figured I'd show you all my trick for what I do for the cover for the tent. So it's actually a question I hear a lot. Do you put it under the truck? Do you put it under the vehicle? Do you put it in the truck bed? Or like, you know, what do you do with the cover, right? So what I do, because I don't want to put it under the truck bed because we have rattlesnakes and all that good happy stuff out here. So what I do is I roll it up in on itself, and then I tuck it in the gap between the tent and the truck. So I do that because A, it's easier to roll it, you know, when I'm opening it, when I'm closing it, but this way also the inside stays dry. Even if it starts raining, the inside's going to stay dry. So when it's time to pack up, if I let the tent air out or whatnot, the cover usually doesn't dry out very quickly. So I can open that up, just roll it on out, cover the tent, and I'm good to go. Well, the cool thing is, inside I already have my pillow. I've got two sleeping bags in there. I've got lights hung up, and you know, I've got my lantern in there already. So really, once I get the actual tent set up, I'm basically good to go. I can climb in there at any point in the night and call it good. Make sure you put your tools away when you're done. The fire will be there. Just make sure you get those tools put away. These pine needles light really well, full of resin. Just start stacking them on. I won't bore you with the rest. Man, I know I've got a lot of camp to set up, but that butte is just calling my name. Trying to gauge how long it'd take me to get up there. Probably not too long. I do see a game trail right there and right there, so I'd probably just follow the game trail, but oof, I got camp to set up first. Well, I couldn't help myself. I've got a little bit more oh, look at that. It's an old Coleman fuel container. That's actually kind of cool. Anywho, there's something else. Well, here's a bunch of old cans. Some old cans. Anywho, let's focus, Austin. Yeah, so I decided that I'm just gonna hike it. You know, the sun's going down, so. Okay, so I've been hiking about 2 hours, or all right, 10 minutes, but making some good elevation. You can see behind me, I think, about there's my camp. You can kind of see it down there, but lots of good views. The junipers get pretty thick as I get higher up, so I'm kind of curious to see if I'll even be able to see much once I get to the top, but I am not on any trails, or not on a trail. All right, everyone. Well, I made it to the top, as you can see. Beautiful view and everything. The rocks are really cool. You know, the view behind me is awesome. But before I headed down, I wanted to show you really quick what I took with me. So I've got adequate boots. My Loa Renegades is what I'm wearing right now. To climb this, I am carrying my White River little fixed companion knife. So this just sits on the belt nicely, has a ferro rod attached to it, so it's just redundancy. But I've also got my EDC, so that's a flashlight, that's a pocket knife, lighter, the other items in my EDC, 365 and whatnot. Then I've also got my Rado pack. So this has everything that for me to be able to survive for about 3 days or beyond. You know, it has water filtration, shelter, it's got warmth, ways to make fire and whatnot. So even though my camp is only, you know, what, right down there, you don't know what could happen between this point and that point. So it's always a good idea just to be prepared, plan for the worst. You don't have to carry that much stuff. Just this Rado pack doesn't weigh a lot. It just sits there, and if I need something from it, I've got something. So something important to note, we are still in winter, and even though there's some still snow on the ground, everything's, you know, damp, if you will. I always have a fire extinguisher in my vehicle. I've got one small one for engine fires, one medium-sized one for just, you know, all-around purpose fires. So I also have gallons of water. I've got a full-size shovel, axes and everything. So I've got a lot of the proper equipment in case something very bad were to happen and, you know, an ember catches something and starts spreading. I do have a lot of the proper equipment. So I suggest if you are going out, you don't need to carry a fire truck. Just make sure you've got a fire extinguisher, full-size shovel, some water, just some things to think about. I'm always very fire conscious and everything, so make sure when you go out you have at least something to protect you in the forest for that. I hit record, right? Okay, well, maybe a little ridiculous, but sometimes I'll bring a giant, where is it? There it is, a giant stump with me, just to make things easier. I've been splitting wood, so I'm a bit out of breath, but it's keeping me warm, that's for sure. But the fire's going really strong. I'm almost able to pull some coals to the side so I can start cooking up my steak, but I just want to give you an update, let you know that the fire's going strong, and I'm just gonna sit and relax for a bit. All right, let's see what we can do. No, I want to keep you in it, but I'll take some of you out of there. Yeah, I like that. Wake those coals up a little bit. Awesome. You know, this is one of those things that kind of goes without saying, but I still feel like it should be brought up. when you're at camp, whether you're in a group, by yourself, your partner, what have you, make sure you're always looking around. I mean, bears here are docile, you know, cats here are pretty docile, so it's not so much that I'm worried about wildlife sneaking up on me or anything like that, so much as animals look for eyes. And so if they're passing by and they see you, if they don't see your eyes, they could take that as an opportunity to just pass by you through a trail, pass by through camp or whatnot. So giving yourself the advantage of looking around. You know, I know there's game trails behind me, so I keep looking, but I want to make sure I'm facing the road that I came in on. That way, if there's any two-legged critters that come in this way, I want to see them before I'm worried about any antelope or any mountain lion sneaking up behind me. But my head is always on a swivel. It's not out of fear, it's just out of awareness. You know, if I am sitting here and, you know, 5 elk start walking through camp, I don't want to be so focused on what I'm doing that I miss the opportunity to see those animals pass through camp. You know, like, have your head on a swivel. If you're paying attention, nature will happen around you, and you probably be able to see something pretty cool. Well, I hate to say it, but I don't think we have too much time together before the sun goes down, before the sun goes down all the way and I lose all of my light. I've got a headlamp, but you guys probably don't want to watch me wandering around with my headlamp on, so I'll probably just call it a night for you guys here pretty soon. But I've got the steak going, just cutting up some peppers. I'll mix some peppers in there. Gonna cook some of the peppers and some I'm just gonna eat raw. But you know, so sometimes I like to go really fancy with food. Sometimes I just like to keep it simple, you know. I've also got beans and whatnot, some other simple things to make, but yeah, tonight it's just some peppers, steak, and that'll probably be it for me. Oh, and I do have some carrots, some kombucha to sip on, so. Well, I don't know if you can see me, but steak is done. It is delicious. Wish y'all were here to try it. I got the peppers going now on the other half of the steak, but I think it's pretty dark, so I am going to just hang out for the evening. I'll check back when I'm in my tent, and then I'll head off to bed. Well, hi everyone. Well, I'm in the FSR tent, all ready for bed right now. I've got my headlamp, keys, headphones. Over on this side, I've got my 365 and spotlight flashlight. I've also got the Claymore hat clip light, so if I have to just throw this on and run out and look at something or you know, use the restroom or whatnot, I can do that a lot easier. Hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning. Hopefully you can hear me all right. It's pretty windy this morning. As you can see, I packed the tent up already. I saw some really dark clouds on the horizon, so I jumped up, packed the tent, started getting the fire going right away, just to make sure I could get it, you know, alive and well before the rain came, which it sprinkled a little bit, but I have a feeling we're going to be getting some more rain pretty soon. So I just wanted to get this self-sustaining and build it up so I can not babysit it so much. But now I'm just kind of hanging out doing that, and I'll start making some bacon here pretty soon. For anybody traveling in Bend, Oregon, Scout Post has the best donut holes. Well, I picked up some trash. Thankfully, it's actually not a lot. There wasn't much in this area. Judging by the trash, I'm going to assume it was a small family, and it was the same family that made all of the trash. So make sure when you go out, pick up your trash. The next people who are going to camp here are going to have a cleaner camp because I cleaned up. So if you clean up, we all start cleaning up the campsites we go to. It'll be a lot more enjoyable for the next person. So pick up trash. Well, I apologize if the wind is still too much, but I got all these ice chunks that I put on top of the fire. Now I'm going to douse it with some water, really make sure that it's put out, and then I'll put some more ice back on top when I'm done with that, and so that way I ensure that this is definitely out. Okay, so camp is all packed up. The fire is now put out. I'm gonna hop in the truck. I'm actually meeting my buddy Casey from Coyote Works at a site about an hour away from here. So I'm gonna hit the trail, meet him, and then him and I are gonna head out and have some fun.